Hey, this is Mike from the 1000K to Tokyo kayaking expedition, an over 700-mile journey up the Pacific coast of Japan to Tokyo with the goal of doing trash research. So today I'm here to talk to you about the Kokatat Expedition Gore-Tex dry suit that we use for the expedition. So let me talk about some features of this dry suit first. So the first thing that's really beneficial about this dry suit, we have reinforced fabric along the back. So we have here, starts from the lower back, goes down to the back of the knee. And this really helps you because obviously there's a lot of rubbing in the seat. I'm completely confident that even in the future this would be fine. There's no signs of wear whatsoever from the 700 miles I've done so far. Now if we look on the front, there's also reinforcement on the knees. Once again, there's no wear here shown whatsoever, so I'm confident this will last as well. Now let's talk about something else, with being the Gore-Tex. I mean, we all know the reputation of Gore-Tex, we all know the price as well. But for this dry suit, it really uses the Gore-Tex well. I mean, there were times that I was really pushing hard and I was never overheated. I never was really uncomfortable. I was hot, but it never got to a point that it was unbearable. I just would open the crotch zipper or pull my neck out a little bit so I can get some air inside. But beyond that, it always kept the rain out, even when I got stuck in really bad weather. There were some times they even had to roll in the kayak and I was fine. Other details I want to show are inside the hood, there is felt lining. And this lining is really nice because when you put up the hood, it's a high hood, so it actually comes maybe to about your mouth. It's really nice too because it closes in. You have just maybe this vision, so the water's not coming in your hood at all. And this is really comfortable because when it rubs against your face, it doesn't feel odd. If you have the dry suit fabric, you may feel a little bit odd. It may feel uncomfortable or cause some rash or chafing after a few hours, but really nice, really soft, no problems at all. Really actually comforting. Funny, it's oddly enough, but anyway, so let me talk about the features of this dry suit. Well, I'm sorry, let me talk about how I use this dry suit. So this was used, of course, every day when I was paddling. So the expedition was about 56 days, with about 45 days actually in the water, because some of those days were spent waiting for weather to pass. Really bad weather came and we had to wait for some really heavy winds and rain. But unfortunately, when they did pass, everything was fine. So beyond that, also there were times that I took this dry suit off and I would hang it up. I mean, often I would try to dry it out if I could. There were times I couldn't dry it out for days straight. There was salt that was caked on the fabric and still it was fine. But I did try to wash it off whenever I could with fresh water. And that could have been once a week or once a month, just depending when I had access to fresh water. So the next thing I want to talk about is the roll practice I did. That's just one example of some of the rolling I did, and of course I was stuck in a few storms that I didn't record because I didn't have the camera ready. But there was no water whatsoever in the dry suit, completely dry and happy as well. There were times that I wore other dry suits and other waterproof options and there was obviously water inside, and when you get water inside in the winter it's slightly dangerous, get hypothermia. But nonetheless, this dry suit worked very well. The things I want you to watch out for, make sure your zippers are clean. I had some issues with the crotch zipper sometimes, and I found that when I had to pee I couldn't open it, which was very unfortunate, but eventually after a few yanks I got it open. So definitely bring a toothbrush with you so you can clean it out. So you can bring some mild soap and just get the sand out. There's a lot of grit that collects. I don't know what else collects there, but definitely you want to get the sand off, want to keep it clean. Also, I had some friends when I would stop and I would see friends that would lubricate it for me, and I sprayed it maybe twice in 3 months, just with some I think some grease or some type of lubricant oil, which made it work well. And also you have a zipper up here you want to watch out for. This is so we have the chest zipper here, which goes from your lower left over your right shoulder. Now, one thing you want to watch out for in regards to the zipper, there were times that I had some issues with the zipper, meaning that not actually with the functionality itself. It's an excellent zipper, no water came inside. But when I was paddling and doing a right stroke, the zipper would get caught on the back of my PFD and make a popping sound. And that got very irritating after about a week. So what I had to do is I had to find a way to address this. And before I put on my PFD, I would yank the zipper down into my left so it would come forward over my right shoulder and it wouldn't be down as far towards on my back. And then I would tighten my PFD and then there would be no more popping. So that's something you may want to do if you do experience popping. Many of my friends who have the same dry suit don't experience popping, but that's me personally. The next thing you want to watch out for, I did see some wear under the arm here, which you can see, and I was a little concerned at first, and it's also on the other side, but much less, and I just think that's from the PFD. Maybe the PFD is too large for me, I'm about 5'11 3/4, almost 6 foot, about 170 pounds. And I did get a large, extra large PFD, and it has to go to the maximum, so I pull it to the maximum. This is the Ronin Pro PFD, by the way, from Kokatat. Excellent PFD, but maybe it's too large. For me, it's okay if I pull it all the way, but that may affect the rubbing from my Drysuit on the side. But one thing, as I said, I'm very confident about is that if this is an issue, if this grows to be an issue, I'm positive Kokatat will fix this, remedy this. I'm completely confident that I could just send this to him, say, could you check this out for me? You know, how much will it cost to fix? And it probably will be very little, if anything. So I'm not worried about that. But after 700 miles, I mean, to just have that is a miracle. I've had other things completely destroyed in 100 miles. So beyond that, the other thing you want to watch out for, be careful about, is your neck gasket. Now, this neck gasket is no joke. It definitely keeps the water out, but it also keeps the oxygen and food out of your throat as well. It definitely grips tight. And unfortunately, because of my shipping error, I didn't get this Drysuit until 1 day before the expedition started, which means I had no time to stretch out the neck gasket. So ideally, what you would do is maybe about 4 or 5 days before, get a pot about the circumference of your neck and stretch out this neck gasket. Because after about 4 or 5 days, it feels fine. It's really not noticeable at all. But for the first 4 or 5 days, you'll really be feeling yourself get choked. And also take care of the neck gasket. They recommend lubricating it with something, which I'll be doing when I get back. I'm starting to see some wear after about 700 miles. But beyond that, I mean, this is an excellent Drysuit. It's an investment. This is one of the best, if not the best, Drysuit available right now. All of my friends have Kokatat Drysuits and Kokatat dry pants or jackets and such, and I'm really excited to have gotten this so I can use it for the expedition. Really, thanks to Kokatat. And that's it. This is an excellent piece of gear. There's nothing that I would say went wrong or something that's a deal breaker, or it didn't malfunction in any way. The only thing stuck, the zipper stuck occasionally, but make sure you keep that clean. And if you have to lubricate it after that, it was fine. And the popping, as I talked about, and also the wear under the arms, but that can all be addressed, so it's really not a deal breaker. So that's about it. Until next time, this is Mike from the 1000 K to Tokyo Kayaking Expedition. Take care.